Blue Table fans? Happy Monday! I feel good. I feel better every day. Boom. All right, folks, listen up. It's time for this. Oh yeah, I spent a nice long weekend with this. Oh yeah, so good. You know, because I was feeling really neglected with my old Eldar book. Like maybe they didn't have enough options, not enough maneuverability, not enough firepower. So thank goodness this came along and gave the Eldar the much needed boost. All right, so folks, first off, I've played Eldar since '97. Love them. You know, from back when the warp spiders had like a template weapon and people had to dodge out of the way. Fantastic. Loved it. Oh my gosh. And they got new jet bikes. So that is, guys, that is long overdue. Very much long overdue for that upgrade. And BTP has done this great Farseer Warlock type conversion that, quite frankly, I think stands very nicely. But it's great to see the new kits. And I've got that kind of cooking already. So folks, time to talk about Codex Eldar. Now, first off, if you're building an Eldar army, you got to start with jet bikes because, you know, Guardians, they still didn't, you know, the Guardians are still, well, they made them better. And, but the Foot Guardians, but I don't know. Way back when, I remember in my game shop in the San Francisco Bay Area in like 2003, 2002, there was a guy, I think, what was his name, Greg? And he played an army that had 6 troop slots, each with 20 Guardians in them. And he actually did really well because it was just like so many shots. All right, so let's talk about the jet bikes because the jet bikes are gonna change this game. And it's because, first off, they're 17 points, and the stat line is the same as a Space Marine, except 1 less strength and 1 greater initiative. So, and that's not a problem because you don't want to get these guys into close combat anyway. And even a tactical Marine, he's not a close combat specialist. So the strength 4 isn't that relevant. But what they did for jet bikes, other than give them a new model, is allowed them to any jet bike can upgrade to a shuriken cannon or a scatter laser for 10 points. And that's incredible because, you know, like normally it's only elite units that can have all specialty weapons or a lot of specialty weapons. In Chaos, the Chosen or Death Guard. In the Dark Eldar, they have Trueborn can have like all blasters or whatever, or 4 of them. But in Eldar, the elites, like Fire Dragons, can have all Meltas all around. But the jet bikes, I don't see anybody ever using the Shuriken Catapult ever again. And here's why, because of the range. And the jet bikes were doing good. They could get into that 12 inches, and then they could scoot on out and be okay most of the time. But now, man, it's going to be really hard to pin down those jet bikes. So if you're making an Eldar army, you gotta do 18 jet bikes to start. I'm going to be running 36, and that's just, and they're troops, so they're ultra scoring, super durable. They've got enormous, just ridiculous maneuverability. And but let's compare. The scatter laser has 4 shots, strength 6, AP, I do believe it is nothing. I want to say 6 though. Scatter, how can I not know this? 6, yeah. Heavy 4. So jet bikes are relentless, so they can move and shoot. And jet bikes get battle focus for some reason, even though apparently jet bikes can't run. So if jet bikes could run, that would be insane. So you've got that at 36 inches, or the cannon. Now the downside of the cannon is 1 less shot, only 3, 24-inch range, but it does have AP 5, and it does have the semi-rending thing going on, where wound rolls of 6 are AP 2. And I just got to tell you, that's so many shots. It's so many shots. Oh my gosh, did I say it was so many shots? So, and the shuriken cannons aren't bad because when you're going up against really high armored guys, you can just start picking them off, like centurions. So let's do the math here. So let's take centurions, right? I do believe they're toughness 5. And so let's take 6 jet bikes with shuriken cannons going up against these guys. And it's easy to get the range on that, 24 inches. Jet bikes can move 12, and then they can scoot out an average of 7, you know, ducking behind cover. Oh, the whole nonsense of the jet bikes. And so let's take a look. 6 would have 18 shots. You'd have 12 hits. You'd have 2 RINs. And then out of the remaining 10, you'd probably have about maybe 6 wounds at least, and then 1 more failed save. So you do 3 wounds on that 2-up toughness 5 unit. So you probably do like 4 wounds on a unit like Terminators. And you can always get lucky and just like absolutely just annihilate something, which is a lot of fun. And with that range, they can cover multiple possible targets and just start. Quite frankly, I don't know how you could possibly deal with 36 jet bikes, but guess who's gonna find out? My buddy Rich. Now our grand finale of Orcs versus Eldar, I'm gonna play using the old rules. We're gonna do 1,500 points, but I am gonna be running a different list than you've seen. It's gonna be unusual. Also, an Eldar list I've been thinking of doing, which I can do mostly with the existing things that I have, is Monofilament Hell, is take only things with monofilament weapons. And those did change, and I liked how they changed them. So, because things can be changed like a nerf or a power reduction, or they can be increased, and like straight up just through the number changing. Like this used to be strength 6, now it's strength 7. Or they can change it by like kind of tactically how it works. And I like where GW is going with the game because they're starting to make kind of like feats in War Machine, things where the timing of the effect can matter, or how you coordinate your models, or what you take in certain games. I mean, there's a lot to it. So monofilament weapons, they used to get +1 strength against things with initiative 3 or less, including vehicles. However, now it wounds against initiative. So what does this mean? The strength didn't change, so they're all strength 6 or 7. Still loving the Shadow Weaver at strength 6, AP 6, heavy 1, barrage, blast, monofilament. And Shadow Weavers are cool. They're really cool. I like them. And because just a unit of 3, and by the way, you could take a unit of 1. You just have 1 Shadow Weaver like sitting in the corner. And it's good stuff. It's interesting. Okay, so anyway, so what does that mean? That means that most armies are initiative 4 or less, so they're just going to be wounding on 2s. So there's really no incredible advantage to it. But they are AP2 if you roll a 6 to wound. So they're that semi-rending thing that the Eldar have going on. But there's no wound roll against vehicles. That really doesn't help. So anyway, so that's an interesting change there. And let's see here. Okay, what else? I've done this video twice, by the way. This will be the 3rd time. And each time I've just lost it, or it wasn't the right thing, or there was an interruption or something. Okay, so jet bikes, obviously huge. One thing I really like I'm starting to look at aspect warriors again. In fact, I'm starting to think Footdar, like just get like a mix. And if a book is properly written, you'll see that like all the different units get some kind of play somewhere. They're brought for strategic reasons. They're brought as part of a team. And it's not like, oh, we just narrowed it down to the few broken things or the most powerful things, and we just take a bunch of those. Although that happens to be the main core unit of the army at this time, is the jet bikes. Oh, the jet bikes. Oh man, how to even deal with those jet bikes. Dang. I don't know. We'll see. When the rubber hits the road, that's when the crying starts. Okay, so I just made that up. So the big change for all aspect warriors is that the Exarchs, which as far as I can tell all cost 10 points to upgrade a guy, so you don't get an extra guy, you just upgrade one. They automatically have a power. It used to be you could buy up to like 3 powers and they cost, but that Exarch would get really expensive. So you'd have like a 15-point guy, 10 points for the Exarch upgrade, 15 for the power, and then so now you'd have like a 40-point guy with 1 wound, and that's just a little scary. But now they're really cheap. They come with a free power that's it. That's what they have. And so let's take a look. The Dire Avenger Exarch has a 4-up invuln, Battle Fortune. The Banshee Exarch has War Shout, which is enemies locked in combat with the Exarch get -2 to their leadership. That's cool. I wonder if... Nope, it's not cumulative. They worded it very well. Striking Scorps gets Stalker, which means in the first round of a challenge, the Exarch gets a bonus attack for every initiative he beats his opponent by. So I'm starting to look at Scorps again and just go, oh man, I would not mind a unit of 5 of these guys in every army. And so they weigh in at 85, plus 10 for the Exarch, plus 30 for the Scorpion's Claw. So here's how this would run down. So let's go Space Marine Sergeant with Power Fist. So there's the challenge. He has to retire or be in combat with the Scorpion Exarch. Scorpion Exarch's initiative is 6. Opponent's initiative is 4. So 2 extra attacks. So he would have 2. Would he get extra weapon? Let's say yes. And then he'd get 1 for charging and 2 bonus attacks. So he would get 6 attacks. So goodbye, opponent. Now against hardier opponents like an Orc War Boss, well, against an Orc Knob is just going to evaporate against this guy. It's going to be, it would be ugly. Snip, snip. And, oh yeah, all you get to see is my face, not this beautiful pictures that I'm looking at. Okay, so Mandiblasters also, the Scorpions just got like, they were just like, all right, let's just make them better. So the Exarch has a cool power and it's cheap, and meaning there's no cost to get it. He just has to have the thing. I do believe they're the same points cost. The Mandiblasters change. It used to be they get a free strength of 3 attack at initiative step 10. Now the Mandiblasters are, you get a wound on a 4-up. That's awesome. That is so good. It's like poison. I mean, against high toughness opponents, oh my gosh, seriously? I mean, these guys could make some pretty short work. I'm going to have to do Scorps versus... Do I still have my Scorpions? I wonder. Or did I sell them with my last batch? It's weird. I don't think my Scorpions are around anymore. So anyway, I love them in blue, by the way. It's a good color for these guys. Okay, so they have Stealth. They also have Shadow Strike. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Shadow Strike. Oh, apparently they have that. Okay, so until they shoot or fight in combat, they have Shrouded. So Shrouded and Stealth. So they're going to have a 2-up cover if they're in cover at all. And that's pretty awesome. So they got the cover thing, they got Shadow Strike, they got the Exarch power, and they got the Mandiblaster improvement. Mandiblaster against Gargantuans or whatever I think it is, they only wound on a 6. So let's keep going. So let's talk about these Exarchs first. Exarch powers. Fire Dragon's got Crack Shot, so reroll 1 failed to hit or to wound or armor penetration roll per turn. So not too bad. Not talking about Wraithguard. The Hawks got Herald of Victory, so they actually got a little bit weaker in a way because before I think they just had Herald of Victory as a power, meaning they don't deviate when they deep strike. Yeah, they used to just have it. Now you need the Exarch upgrade for them. So, but as far as I can tell, same thing. Oh, but they move 18 inches. Oh yeah, the Hawks did get better. They move 18 inches and they can haywire over flyers if they move over a flyer. Amazing! Just a bonus thing that they get just for moving. So, guy, watch it with the Hawks. The attacks hits on roll 4-up. Blah, 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 blah. Enemy flyer or flying monstrous creature. Hits on a 4-up, strength 4, AP 4, so not going to do much against most flying monstrous creatures. But the haywire thing against, what's it? Can you just imagine swooping in, clamping their haywire charges, and then veering off? Oh, awesome. Caw-caw! That's the battle cry of the swooping hawks. So warp spiders, the Exarch got Iron Resolve, which is automatically passes pinning, fear, regroup, and morale checks. Awesome. Just better, just plain better. And Flicker Jump. Flicker Jump is a cool rule where if they're the target of a shooting attack, they can jump 2d6 inches, and then the attack fails if they're no longer a viable target. But they can't warp jump the following turn. So kind of a little bit of a downside to that. But I have no complaints. I mean, I think Matt Ward is still working at GW basically, because yeah, this is like that. It reminds me of when the Grey Knights came out last edition, where it was just like, oh, they were like so good. They were so fun to play. So many options. The Inquisitor stuff in there. It was just like this smorgasbord of like coolness. That is what the Eldar are. Shining Spears, the Exarch has Expert Hunter, which is reroll failed to wound rolls against monstrous creatures. And they have Aerobatic Grace, 4+ cover save. Just because. Can they be joined by a Warlock? I don't think they can, because that would make them crazy. 4-up cover, just because, as long as they're moving. And when are you not going to move? Right? Outflank, Skilled Rider, Battle Focus, which I don't think affects jet bikes, and Heavy Armor. So I don't know, there's still 25 points, but will the Spears see a comeback? Crimson Hunter now has, it's cheaper. Vipers got 10 points cheaper. I'm looking for Vipers now. Like I'm gonna start running them. I'm like, how do they compare against jet? Because you can get a jet bike with a shuriken cannon for 27, so 54 for 2. But this is only 50 with 2 shuriken cannons. So 2 shurikens on 2 jet bikes or 2 shurikens on a Viper. I don't know, the maneuverability of the jet bike sounds really good, but the Viper does have, in my opinion, a little bit more maneuverability. But it can be technically one-shotted out of existence, so we'll see. Vipers will probably be run with different weaponry, but 2 shuriken cats each actually sounds pretty good. But I don't know, you can get Venoms allied in there still. I don't know, will it be enough to bring the Viper back to the battle? I don't know. Dark Reapers. By the way, I haven't looked at the Hemlock yet. I have a feeling something weird has happened with the Hemlock. Oh my gosh, so Dark Reapers, still 25 points a model. I think that's what they used to be. Oh, did they used to be 30? Hold on. Yeah, they used to be 30. Oh, they went down 5 points. Okay, awesome. So rangefinder, slow and purposeful. Okay, Exarch has Inescapable Shot. Special rule fires 1 more shot than normal for his weapon. Okay, that's cool. That's fast shot. Did I say Inescapable Shot? Okay, Inescapable Accuracy. This is what they all have. Rerolls failed to hit rolls when firing at a unit that zoomed, swooped, turbo boosted, or moved flat out. Oh my gosh. When firing at a unit that zoomed, swooped, turbo boosted, or moved flat out. So that's kind of like some anti-air there, guys. And just so you know, the percentages are, if you have to snap fire, you have a 16% chance of hitting, but if you re-roll, you've got a 33% chance of hitting approximately. So it goes like that, something like that. Okay, so guys, that's pretty good stuff. Let's see, any other? Nope. Wraith Lords, War Walkers, kind of the same. Like I'm looking at War Walkers versus Vipers now, and I'm like, Like a War Walker costs 60, and then it can get scatters for free. I think that was always the case, to upgrade the shurikens to scatters. No, it used to be 5 points. So that's now actually cheaper to go scatter laser. That's weird. Yeah, the shuriken cannon scatter laser is kind of like Scatter laser doesn't have laser lock anymore. The wave serpent went down to being reasonable. Still very good, but it isn't like this gun platform. But it does do the blast at 2d6 for one shot, one use only, for the serpent shield. Guy, I'm not even talking straight. There's so much goodies in here. It's awesome. It's a great read. The art is amazing. I mean, they just lavished this thing out with just so much art. And I like that there's no rules in this section. There's only background. And so, yeah, look at that. Oh, Banshees. Banshees just, I mean, they didn't get any more durable. So, okay, fine. But Banshees got +3 to their movement when running or charging. And they don't suffer initiative penalty when going through terrain. They have a Banshee mask. Oh, that actually does something now. I don't know what it used to do. So, hold on, Banshee mask. Here it is. They cause fear, and you can't fire Overwatch against them. What did it used to do, I wonder? Well, anyway. Okay. Battle Focus and Fleet. Now, if you take a War Host, and you got to take like a lot of models, this is kind of like the special army-wide formation that you find up here. And it's pretty restrictive. You've got to take Guardian Hosts. So a Guardian Host could be, oh, that's actually not bad. A Farseer, a Warlock, 3 units of Wind Riders, I'll have that. A Warlock Conclave, a Viper Squadron, which I'm going to throw in there. You can just put 1 and get the qualification. And then you have to have you can have Auxiliary is optional, and you have to have a Command, which is not a problem. So here's what happens. If a unit composed entirely of models from this detachment runs, don't roll, you get a 6. You just run 6. That's amazing. That almost gives them all the maneuverability of the jet bikes. Because with Battle Focus, they can shoot, then they can skedaddle on out of there. Or they can skedaddle on up, shoot. Huge amounts of maneuverability. In fact, quite frankly, I think an all-foot army would do just fine, especially if they had that. I mean, a Wind Rider host, Guardian Storm host, Guardian Battle host. Yeah, all right, well, that's all I have time for right now. I want to assure all clients, potential clients, I'm here every day.